Good morning. My name's Heather with Northern Vintage Decor. I'm the founder and owner for those of you who are new here. And on today's video, I want to show you how I prep for an upcoming vintage and makers market. So here I've gathered some frames from different stores and I'm going to paint them using Jolie paint. I've chosen this color in the Jolie paint line, and then I may go in and do some brown finishing wax and maybe even some gold gilding wax. So what I'm going to do, I'll start and show you this frame here. I already went in and there was cardboard behind the frame, and I just went in and glued in some paper, so it was like a almost like a cardstock, but not quite as thick, and then some little bits of ephemera, and then I stamped it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the frame here, and I'm going to take that out. Like I said, that was one that I did yesterday. I haven't painted it yet, but I do want to take out the glass. Well, shoot, let me think. If I take out the glass, then I might get that painted. Actually, I'm just going to leave it in, and I'll just be careful, but if I get any on the glass, then I'll just, you can scrape it off. You could also use painter's tape, but I normally don't. I'll just go in, like, see right here, I can just take this off. And then if I had like a little sharper tool, and that's fine. And I'm going to be covering the inside of here too. So I'll just leave that on. I'm going to do a second coat on here. This one I started a little while ago, and that'll be how it sits. So I want to make sure I have that in the right. And then this one, we'll go ahead and we'll just leave the glass in here too. So let's go ahead here. I'm going to do white on all three of them. I'm going to give this a good shake. It's nice about these little sample sizes is you can shake them up and you don't have to get out the stir sticks or make too big of a mess. And I'm just going to go ahead here and paint this. I do like some of the wash look and some of the gold coming through, so I'm probably just going to do, well, maybe one coat on here. Well, it really just depends. We'll see when it dries. Because if I come in with the brown wax and then the gilding wax, I really only need one coat as the base. And like I said, I am messy when I paint, but I'll get this paint off. So it's a good thing I left the glass in there, because otherwise it would have definitely got over the card and the work I had done previously. So this is a simple project to do. It looks really nice on your sofa tables, in your spring and summer vignettes. It's inexpensive. It's fun. If you don't want to do this and you just enjoy buying them, that's great too. And they're usually priced very inexpensively, but it just adds that nice decorative flair to your home on a budget. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. All right, so I'm just kind of going here now. If I had my little Lazy Susan that spun around, I could use that too, but this is fine for now. And it really doesn't take a lot of paint either, which is really nice. So a sample size jar of the Jolie paint goes a long way. I hope that I'm in the video here. I'm trying to get better with this. I use all different types of things to put the phone in, and it's still a work in progress. It's not my specialty, but I'll get there one day. Thanks for being patient. So there's that. So that's the first coat. And then this one already has a coat on it from before. I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to add a little more to this one. Get around those edges. And it would be really nice if you even did these in sets of 3s too. You could make like a little like gift set, pack set, whatever you want to call it, and sell them as a set of 3 in your market booth, or you can sell them individually. It just depends kind of how they flow. I think these kind of flow nicely together. I like the different shapes and sizes, but it really just depends on how much inventory you have and how you want to do it. Would they sell better individually? Probably, unless the price was, quite a good deal on the set of 3 together. But again, these are something that are generally affordable. So in my opinion, I would probably sell them individually. But then if somebody picks up 3 at the market and they're like, hey, would you do, however much on this, give them a little discount, we could do that for sure. All right. So there's that. All the sides are done. And now we're on to this one. Like I said, this is just a simple project, but they really make your tables stand out. They're easy to pack. You can get a lot of these done. You can do all different types of art, collage, decorating with the inside of the cardboard, and then they're really just pretty as is, and you don't even have to add pictures or anything else to the inside frame. So they're kind of already finished for you, but certainly if somebody wanted to use them for their intended purpose, they could do that too. And then if they got tired of that, they could take the photo out and they would still have that beautiful decorative picture in collage in the background. All right, so there is that. I'm just going to touch up a little more here. Okay, so those are looking pretty good. I do have my heat gun ready to go. I'm probably going to use that on the frames to speed up the dry time. I just want to move my paint and stuff away from that first. And remember, these heat guns do heat up pretty hot, so just watch your hands when you're doing it. I usually have it on the lower setting. And I keep it going in a consistent motion. I don't want to leave it setting on one spot for too long. The dry time on this paint is fairly quick anyways, especially for small pieces like this. So it's not necessary to have a heat gun, but I do like it. I used to use a hair dryer. Just get a heat gun. But whatever works. Okay, so that should be enough for right now. So I'm looking at this and I'm trying to decide if I want to go in and add more, or do I just want to start putting some wax on this, or maybe even some gilding wax? So decisions. The cool thing is with this paint, you can paint over the wax if you don't like how it looks, or you can wipe most of it off. You have a little bit of leeway. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start doing some wax on this one. So I'm going to try the brown finishing wax, and I will put the links below if you're interested in these products. I use a lint-free cloth. I buy a bag of them at the local hardware store. This is going to look really dark when I put it on. I want to get right in the detailed crevices area, but then I can go in and wipe off the excess, what I don't want. I really like how that brings out all of these ornate features. So yeah, I like where we're going with the age look here, and I like that it's not solid white because I want it to look just shabby and just kind of time worn. So I am going to go in and wipe off. I don't want it quite this dark. I wiped and some of the gold came through, which that's actually kind of fine. Because I'm going to use gilding wax anyways, so it all kind of flows. Okay. So I do like where I'm going with this. And I'm just, again, there's a little bit of leeway time with the Jolie wax to wipe it and not make it as dark, but it's not a ton of leeway time. So if you don't like the shade, if it's too much, you're going to want to wipe quite quickly over it, or you can go back with clear or white wax. Generally, we recommend that you coat each piece if you're going to do wax with the white wax first and then go in with the colored wax. But on such a small item that's not going to get a lot of traffic, this is fine. Okay, I like that age look. I think that's really nice, very, very time-worn, very chic. And then just kind of going in, and you can't really make mistakes with this kind of style. So it's kind of just a nice, fun, relaxing, simple Sunday tutorial, which is what I wanted to show you today. This is the gold gilding wax by Jolie. I use my finger. A little bit goes generally a long way. And I'm just going to kind of add in there some more, kind of just patting it. It dries quick. You don't have to cover over this with any type of protective coating, but when I do hardware, sometimes I do, just because I feel like that's a heavy traffic area. Okay, that's all I really want to add to that. I think it has enough going on. It's not going to take very long to dry. I don't know if you can see it standing up from my angle, but it's really cute. It's simple, but it's cute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start working on this one. If you were just working with the wax, you might want to check your hands if you don't want this same look going on. Otherwise, you're going to bring it right over to the next one. I am going to do something pretty much similar, so it's not too big of a deal. So yeah, I'm just going to go right around here, give it that aged, time-worn look. When you have decorative frames like this, and you can really get in and make them stand out, I just really like doing that. So this one is a really good example. right around here. Just kind of leaving whatever's left on this rag to kind of just guide into my work. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm going to age this one with the brown wax, and hopefully you can see that okay. So there's that, and then I'm going to go in with just little hints of the gold Jolie gilding wax again. Kind of touch on each one of these little, just kind of make it pop a little bit. Give it some flair. We're not going for perfect. We're going for time-worn here. Shabby. All right. I really do like how that looks, and I'm going to decorate the inside here in a moment. If I had my wipes, which I usually do, I could go in and get most of this off. Which, it's not really bad right now, but just so you know, if you have little wipes here and little Sharpies, I'm going to cover this up. So I'll go ahead, I'm going to flip this piece over. Key here is not to break these little metal tabs. I've done it before and kind of sucks when that happens. All right, so we're going to take this piece out. I'm going to let this dry still. And then I'm just going to go ahead and okay, so for this, I'm just going to work with pieces that I have nearby. Like I have this, but it doesn't cover the whole thing. So I think I'm going to do, I kind of still want that. I think the purple would be really pretty with this because it's going to bring in the purples from this one too. And although I'm not going to sell these as a set of 3, it might intrigue somebody to buy the other one because it does flow so nicely together. So that's something to think about too when you're creating your objects. I normally don't measure. I know. Okay. And then I'm going to take my glue stick here. I use Elmer's Extreme. There's all different ones out there. This is just one that looks like it would be good for craft projects that need a little bit extra durability. And so far, it's proven to be just fine. Get along those edges. You want to make sure that this sticks down well. All right, and like I said, this piece isn't big enough, but I'm going to add some other things to this. So we got it for that part. And then, and I just have a little like basket over here of odds and ends and things I'm working with and creating my scrap packs with. So I think that looks very, very chic, and maybe a little stamp here, and then we could even go in and add some ribbon at the top. Normally I like to use my Fabri-Tac glue if I'm going to do that at the top with the ribbon, but we might be able to do that. Oh shoot. There goes something I'm going to need. So maybe do something like that. We'll try the glue stick. I can't guarantee this is going to be like what you want to use normally. If I hold it for a couple of seconds, it'll probably be okay. That kind of has that little chic look to it. This is a new piece of like a die cut out. I'm just gonna angle it like so. I do have to grab something really quick here. Okay. That was my brush, but luckily the end didn't fall and get dirty. So that's looking cute. I kind of want to add something more right there. I was thinking a stamp. Sheet music would look cute too. And I have a little, that's why I really like to keep my scraps, because you never know. And they don't have to be like they're even the right way. Just whatever works for like the little collage or picture you're making. There. So we'll see what this looks like on the inside now. Normally I would do this on a piece of cardstock and then put it on the glass. It didn't have that with this one, and really that's okay. This one doesn't have a back, and it's just, it'll be fine. I mean, you can feel it, but it's fine. And I think that looks really cute. Everything flows together good. And so I got the sheet music in this one and then also in this one. And it's already pretty much dry. So that's how quick the dry time on these really goes. So let's go back to the last one here, and let me see what we're gonna do. I don't think I really need to even add any more white paint, so I think we're all set with that also. I'm just gonna go in with some brown wax, and I'm really gonna get the edges here where it's extra ornate and decorative. Like I said, you have a little bit of time, but not a ton of time. So you do have to move fairly quickly if you don't like how dark it is. There's a couple areas up here I want to blend in better. Kind of, even though, like I said, I'm not selling them as a set of 3, I do want them to kind of flow together on the table, so then someone may want to buy them as a set of 3. But if they just want to buy one, that is okay too. You could spend a Sunday just doing a whole bunch of these and mix them in and have them for backup when your other small items sell, because these are easy to wrap. You can fit at least 20 of these in a tote, probably more like 40 of this size. And that is some serious inventory for your booths. And these are grab and go items that people, when they're walking through, they don't have to, I don't like to say impulse buys, but kind of. They're not something that costs a lot of money. They're very pretty. They're nice to gift. They're DIY'd. So you really can't go wrong having things like these. And I know from also a buyer perspective, I like to buy items like these, especially around the holidays for gifts, or if I'm looking to add, just kind of freshen up my space at my home. I'm just going in with the gilding wax here. There. So just check your sides, make sure you got all those. And then I'm gonna kind of wipe down my hands a little bit. I do like to have wipes on hand, but I don't right now. But that's okay. I do have the lint-free cloths. This, like I said, have something kind of sharp nearby if you got a little bit of extra paint on that glass. My nails work okay for right now. Okay, that should be fine. I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to take out the back here, and we are going to decorate on this piece. So I think for this piece, because I do want it to flow, I'm going to actually I'm working with what I have at my craft station right now, which, let me think here. So I cut out these vintage dictionaries and sheets, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this page down, and I'm going to stamp it with a bird print. Right there. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm gonna go in and kind of, do I want to darken the edges up? It's already kind of aged enough, but I do find sometimes if you go in with this and just kind of give it a little extra age. You could even do this with the gilding wax if you wanted some gold in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to take some of my leftover sheet music and do it there and there. Right, and then we're going to use this like right there. Okay, and we want to kind of pull in those other ones still. So I'm going to take some of that ribbon that I had in the other ones. I'm going to put it right here and right there. I love junk journaling, and this is basically junk journaling the inside of frames. And obviously you don't have a frame, but you're making up the collages. That would be like a junk journal page. I just think it's a really fun way to create. All right, so there's that. And then I'm going to go ahead here and I am going to kind of wipe down the glass. And again, some little Windex wipes would be really handy here. I'm just using what I have at my station right now. So I normally would clean the glass, and I will. I'll go back and wipe it down to get rid of all the smudge marks. But just to show you for the video, you get the idea. So I'm going to put the glass over the top here. If there's extra, you can just go ahead and tear it off. And then I'm going to go ahead and add it back in. All right, and there you have it. So there's that. So I really like how this one flows. And then we have this one. And then we have, did I not put the back on one? Oh, yeah. Okay, this one does have a back, you guys. So that's kind of nice. I thought it did, but I know, well, there is one that doesn't, but it doesn't have a middle either. So I'm going to add cloth to that. That's another video. All right. You really don't want to break these, but this one is sure down there good. Okay. Go ahead and get the back on here. All right, so there's that. And then there's this one. So whatever order you want to put them in, I just think that they're all just so like shabby and time-worn and springy, and they flow. We got the bird stamps here. We got the sheet music in each one, the ribbon in a couple. So yeah, and if I wanted to, I could go ahead and add the gold, but I don't think in the gold ribbon in this one, but I don't think it's necessary. So there you have it. That is my Simple Sunday video number 3. I am getting ready for the Hobnob Hoopla Market in Indiana. Again, my name's Heather with Northern Vintage Decor. If you like what you've seen, go ahead, subscribe. And every Sunday I do some type of video, and sometimes during the week I upload if I have extra stuff going on. Thank you so much for joining. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and we have a website, northernvintagedecor.com. I will put the links below on the products that I used, and you have a great weekend. Bye now.